if you can again explain that stance, of course, as you rightly pointed out, towards that body language of the External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar, as he in fact received and welcomed Bilawal Bhutto Zardari for that foreign ministers meeting, which is to shortly take place. Why the thinking, of course, that India has behind, of course, maintaining this stance vis-a-vis Pakistan, that it continues to maintain, of course. I mean, the obvious reasons are known, but again, if you could put that into perspective.
Follow me. If you could just repeat the last bit of your question,
right.
It would be helpful.
From the diplomacy and from the foreign policy angle, because you cover foreign affairs so closely, if you could put forth why exactly India continues to maintain this stance, especially even in photo ops, we do not want to be seen as more than welcoming of the Pakistani side.
Well, that's, again, a very interesting question, follow me. You also follow foreign affairs very closely, so it's not for you, for the benefit of our viewers. Let me just explain. India's stand has been this for a while now. Since we've seen the Uri, Pulwama attacks, India has been maintaining that talks and terror cannot go together. And that certainly is something there. We've not seen forward movement, be it prosecution and conviction of terrorists. Now we know that the foreign ministers, whether it is Bilawal or Hina Rabbani Khar, keep talking about and harping about Hafiz Saeed being in jail and having been convicted. But please go through the conviction and see what is he convicted for. He's been convicted for, in terror parlance, it would be petty crime. It is just for a minor terror financing case and not for the Mumbai terror attacks. Have we seen prosecution and convictions for Mumbai terror attacks? Certainly not. And that certainly is a concern for India. And we are going back to 2008 Mumbai terror attacks. There have been so many since then. Governments have changed. The establishment in Pakistan has not. And unless and until Pakistan changes its policy of state sponsorship of terrorism, there certainly can be no forward movement, because there are no takers, follow me, back home. There are no takers. There's no tolerance to converse with Pakistan at a time when Pakistan or the establishment wants to scuttle those talks, and in that messaging of scuttling the talks, they end up hurting India more through their terror proxies. And that certainly is the reason why we are seeing this distance. This distance will continue to be maintained till the time that we see absolute real prosecution.
Geeta, also speaking of Russia, Russia is expected to have a lot of bilateral meetings in Goa. Sergei Lavrov is, of course, in Goa as we speak. And this, of course, comes against the backdrop of that apparent alleged assassination attempt on Vladimir Putin. How much of that is going to overshadow this SCO meeting?
Well, the fact is that the SCO Charter, Parliament, does not allow concerns that are bilateral in nature to be raised in the SCO forum. So the forum does not, and in a way, the Charter was spelled out to India and Pakistan. I'm going back to India and Pakistan just to explain a little more, Parliament.
Right.
It goes back to when India and Pakistan were being made members, that the two countries were told, keep your mess out of our room. And that certainly resonates even for other countries. So in terms of the larger security perspective, Russia certainly will be raising concerns. But the bilateral concerns will certainly not come up. It certainly is a part of the conversations when bilateral meetings are being held by Lavrov with his counterparts from the SCO member states. Kremlin coming under attack is a serious security not just a security breach, but a serious offensive allegedly by Ukraine, because this is what Russia is saying, claiming that the drones were Ukrainian drones, and is the reason why Russia could retaliate. Now, the time and the place would be of their choosing, is what they've already said in a statement, which means one can expect heightened tensions, which certainly will not bode well for the SCO countries. Why? Because this is the entire region that gets impacted with the continued conflict between Russia and Ukraine, the war between Russia and Ukraine. And should there be an escalation, it will impact food security and energy security, not just with regards to the West, but at a global level.